Every thought is a lie. Every thought is a product of the mind. This is the disease of our generation. This is disease of our age. All humans, most of humans, most of us, believe that they are the mind. But are you the mind? Examine this. One must stare at the mind long enough to understand its nature, to understand its play. No one is safe from this. The best of us. You can say the best. People who have achieved everything they need to achieve from a material success standpoint. Money, fame, reputation, cars, houses, family. The Maslow's pyramid, all three levels, are full and complete. And this must happen, because after that, the human, the man, starts asking the right questions. Is that it? How come I have everything and I feel empty? How come I have all these riches, but inside I feel like I have nothing? How come I have all this knowledge that I've accumulated through years and I feel like I know nothing? Why am I so smart, but I'm so unhappy? These are the questions that slowly nudge a person towards a direction of exploration, of truth. And the truth is not something that can be communicated. That's the trick. Every word itself is already a lie. Why? Because the word itself is a very limited representation of a thought. But unfortunately, that's the only tool that we have. I have to rely on verbal communication right here, right now, just because there is no better tool of transferring ideas and concepts from one person to another. But that's precisely something that can be studied and understood and will serve as a key towards full understanding. Let's take the word apple. That's the word, that's the label that we use and associate with an image. You take every language, and every language will have its own label. You take French and it will be pomme. You take Korean and it will be sagwa. You take Russian, it will be yabloko. English is apple. But then, does the word itself represent the essence? Those are different sets of labels, but can you understand the taste of an apple? Can you understand the color, the texture? Size, There is nothing that the word itself communicates. The word does not represent the essence. The word is a model, representational model of a thought. Now, what if you look at the thought? I take 20 people into one room and I will tell them an apple. Everyone imagine an apple. What is your guesstimate? Do you think that everyone would imagine the same apple, will see the same apple in the mind's eye? No. Some will see red apples, some will see a yellow apple, some will see a green apple, some will see a group of apples, some will see a company apple, nothing to do with an apple. Someone who is not very good at visualizing things would see nothing. Just blank dark space and maybe words spelled APPLE. That's how a thought is lying. The word itself does not represent the essence, but the thought itself. Is going to be subjective and individual, shaped by the perception of the human. Out of these 20 people, every individual human mind created a different apple. And this is a simple concept, an apple. Now, how about more complex concepts? What is a friend? I will ask these people this question and I will get 20 definitions. I will ask him about success and they will give me 20 definitions of success. I will ask them about love, and it will create more confusion than ever. I will ask them about God, and I will get nothing. Nothing in return, no response that would be even slightly closer to truth. The definitions are subjective and individual. The definitions, thoughts, representational model of things within the mind are subjective, distorted by humans' own conditioning. And most of the thoughts, most humans never examined where the thoughts even came from. How much of the stuff have you absorbed as a child when you didn't have the apparatus of critical thinking? There was no mechanism of organizing things into buckets and categories, of putting stuff that's incoming as information into shelves. It's just a pile of data. You've been brainwashed from the very beginning. Two humans supposedly met accidentally, supposedly, fell in love, supposedly, gave birth to a new human, and then decided to call it a label. Let's give this child a name. Your name, has it ever been chosen by you? Or has it been just stamped on you? Given. And you were raised and trained and conditioned to associate yourself with that name. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now look at the trees. Look at your parents. Parents, most of them, are same conditioned humans who have never taken a minute of the day to sit down and look within and reflect and introspect and understand the nature of their own condition. Two parents just projected their own ego onto the child. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what you should believe. This is what you shouldn't believe. This is what's possible. This is what's not possible. Be realistic. How much of that conditioning can you track down? Conditioning that stems from a family, and then a child is sent to school. How many years of brainwashing is that? 10, 11, 12? Conditioning to conform. Conditioning to accumulate knowledge that has zero application in the real life. The most important things in school are not being taught. What's the application of algebra or calculus or dates of wars, who killed when, who? What's the point of all this nonsense? Why the most important, life important skills are not being taught in education, educational institution? Education is ruining intelligence, growth mindset, resilience, patience, kindness, emotional intelligence, meditation, communication skills, writing, system thinking. None of this is being taught. And then from school to university, next level of conditioning, more complex conditioning, more complex brainwashing, and then from there into the world. And what's in the world the human sees, which is absolute ridiculous, right? It's absurdity again, because you're being judged on your academical performance. There's still people hiring other people based on grades. You're telling me that human potential is defined by how good of an exam taker this person is? Straight A student is a perfect exam taker. Is this person a perfect problem solver? The complexity of the world is always, always more complex than anything that a human mind can conceive or intellectualize. Conditioning of the world. Conditioning of corporations, conditioning of social media, conditioning of that invention called cell phone screens. Now you can't even choose. You wake up, you grab a phone, and you stand under this shower of disinformation, of nonsense, of information that is targeted to confuse you, to hook you, and to keep you in this illusion. And there is no chance for you, almost no chance for you to win, because there is you alone, one human, and on the other hand, there are teams of people in R&D department, the most brilliant minds that get together and who are being paid to solve that interesting puzzle and on one sole mission: to get you hooked and to get you addicted and get you to invest the energy of your attention and time and money. Layers and layers of conditioning. Family, school, university, corporate world, social media, friends, life experience, traumatic events. And all this creates the content of the mind. Thinking, 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 lots of thoughts. It takes a very rare human who would truly dedicate himself to that journey of exploration and finding stillness, finding quietude within. And in that place of quietude, in that place of stillness, the mind is revealed as one grand, massive illusion. The illusion of manufactured self. Everyone believes that they are this person. That person with a name and last name. That person with beliefs and ideas and concepts and notions and memories and future projections, worries, hopes, concerns, and emotions and emotional turmoil. And everyone is working so hard towards catering to that person, beautifying the face, makeup, lipstick, mascara. Let's groom it up. Let's put some beautiful hair. Nice clothes, expensive clothes, to impress other people, other sleeping beings. Let's put some jewelry. Let's put some nice perfume. Let's smell nice. Oh, you're hungry. Okay, I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna put the best food inside of you. Oh, you want entertainment? Of course, anything and anywhere. Just go on the internet. Everything's available right there, right here. But if you get to the place of stillness, if you get to the place of quietude, you will develop the ability to see through the mind, through that fake manufactured persona, through those layers and layers of conditioning. And it will be revealed. Every thought is a lie. And once you know that every thought is to be scrutinized. Every choice, every decision is to have a pause before the choice or decision. Most people live compulsively. There is a thought, the thought produces an emotion, emotion produces a behavior, a reaction. A reaction creates circumstances, circumstances create experience, experience creates new thoughts, and new thoughts, new emotion, and that's a loop. Most people live in reactionary mode. Thought, emotion, reaction, behavior, circumstance, new thoughts. Again. How can you break the loop? There's only one way to break the loop. Is to see through the loop. You look at the magician, at the illusionist, and they show you a trick with a little coin. Hands are so swift, so agile. The movements are so sleek. Coin disappears. Here you are, tricked, puzzled, thinking, how did that happen? And that's the illusion. Illusion appears when you don't understand the movements of the hands. But then the illusionist says, you know what? I'm going to explain you the trick. And he shows you the trick slowly. Here's what exactly all the steps that I do. And you are tricked no more. You are tricked no more because you know exactly what is happening. You can see through the trick, through the illusion. Now the mind is absolutely the same. For as long as you can't see through the illusion, you will be fooled. But once you see through the illusion, there is no need to control anything. The very need for control disappears because you are no longer tricked. You can see through the illusion of thought. You can see through its movements. The activity of the mind. The thoughts running around like crazy monkeys, trying to play and trick. All these thoughts that pull you in different directions. Thoughts that mostly come from some form of conditioning. The whole world is programming you. The whole world is a one giant circus, full of tricksters, full of illusionists. But the biggest trickster and illusionist of all is the mind. And the biggest illusion is that you believe that you are the mind. And for as long as you believe that, you will remain fooled. There is no way to control the mind. You cannot control what you can't understand. You can't drive the car if you don't understand what the steering wheel for, the gearbox is for, the pedals that you need to press on, or all these little buttons. Mind is the same way. You cannot control what you don't understand. But once you understand, the need for control disappears. You can watch it, you can observe it, and you can choose to remain as a witness. Watch the play of the mind. I like this expression in English a lot. I lost my train of thought. It's exactly it, a train of thought. You're standing on the platform, watching the train, and every thought is a wagon, and it's welcoming and it's inviting you and it's calling you to step in, and you step in and it will take you away to the place where you don't want to be. But what if you don't? What if you choose not to? Not to engage, just to stay on the platform and watch the wagons flow by. The wagons will slow and slow and slow down, just enough for you to start noticing there are gaps between the wagons. And the space will grow and grow and grow. And one day the space will be everything that remains. The train will stop coming. And the platform will disappear. But you won't. You will be here, as always, right here, right now. Awareness. Watch the mind. Stay as a witness. Every thought is a lie.